Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our presiding official, Colonel Marlise K. Roth, Commander, 52nd Mission Support Group, welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony. Thank you for attending, and a special thank you to those who are attending virtually. This afternoon, Major William F. Barrett will relinquish command, and Major Russell C. Bungai will assume command of the 52nd Contracting Squadron. I'm Master Sergeant Aaron Ferris, and I'm your narrator for today's ceremony. We're honored to have some special guests with us today. Kaylee Patterson, wife of Major Barrett, and their daughter Sydney. Attending virtually, Major June Bungai, wife of Major Russell Bungai, and their children Benjamin, Jordan, Roman, and Mason. The 52nd Fighter Wing Command Team, Commander Colonel David Epperson. And the 52nd Mission Support Group Chief Enlisted Manager, Chief Master Sergeant Stephen Matthews. We also welcome all commanders, honorary commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, host nation partners, friends, family, and members of the 52nd Contracting Squadron and the Sabre Nation, some of whom are joining us here physically, and others who are joining us virtually, thanks to the Public Affairs live streaming service. Who do not know or recognize their commanders. In response to this problem, the Continental Army of the United States conducted the first official change of command ceremony. Just as it has in the past, the formal change of command allows troops to witness the actual transfer of command between two officers and see their new commander firsthand. In modern times, the guidon is entrusted to a senior enlisted member of the unit as a symbol of the trust and confidence the command places in its enlisted corps. The change of command also adds color and pageantry to the military life, preserves tradition, and stimulates esprit de corps. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, Colonel Roth.
Well, that's already wrong. Good afternoon. Got to remember when I'm doing my script when we're doing these things. But good afternoon, everybody. Welcome those who are joining us in person and virtually. Colonel Epperson, welcome. Colonel Hokai, Chief Cates, group and squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family and friends, and most importantly, the men and women of the 52nd Contracting Squadron. Welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for being here on this very special day. Ich möchte auch die answestlichen Partner unseres Gastgeberlandes ganz besonders begrüßen. Rainer Vögen und Sandra Berwille. Jürgen, good to see you. Danke, dass ihr heute hier seid. Thank you to all of those who had a part in planning and executing this event, in which we say farewell to Major Barrett and his wife Kaylee and their daughter Sydney. And welcome Major Bungai, all right, his wife June, and their children Benjamin, Jordan, Roman, and Mason. Those are easier. I'm good. To Spangalum and the 52nd Contracting Squadron and to Sabre Nation. Major Barrett, you have continued this contracting squadron tradition of excellence and always getting the job done. You and your team always go the extra mile for our customers, and while contracting is a smaller unit, it has a huge impact, and it is vitally important to the success of the MSG and the entire wing. Major Barrett, you always assured the wing and the squadrons had the capabilities and services they required to meet the mission requirements. Your innovative mindset streamlined processes and reduced the workload for units, saving manpower and funds. The impact you and your squadron made was not limited to Spangalum, it was theater and Air Force wide. A few of the highlights include establishing and managing a European Deterrence Initiative and European Infrastructure Consolidation contracts to ensure the wing was able to support current and future mission taskings. You developed several key process innovations to expedite capability and services to the warfighter. These include EDI support flight, expansion authority to advertise without funding, requirement approval document delegation to the squadron level, and modification of contracts to exercise options early. You and your team enabled the stand-up of the theater's first remotely piloted aircraft detachment and established contracts for command and control, fencing, lodging, food, and laundry. All of these which are key to ensuring the airmen had what they needed to get the job done. You were also key to several vital initiatives to include the Wing Operational Center renovation, Industry Day, the first in 6 years, barrier contract, rapid forge, and purchasing materials for emergency and recovery ops when one of our aircraft went down. While these are only a handful of the things accomplished by you and your squadron, they show how your leadership enhanced the wing and airman readiness for the foreseeable future. You and your airmen make a difference every day, and that is in no small part to your outstanding leadership. Major Barrett, we'll miss you along with Kaylee and Sydney, and wish you all the best as you head off to school and for the great things in life ahead for you and your family in the future. Major Bungai, I'm glad to have you and your family here and on board. You all will love this assignment because of the diverse mission and the great people you will work with here on and off base. The wing and its airmen lead the way in every aspect of their mission, and I have high expectations for you and your unit. Based on your proven leadership and experience, I know you will continue to take the contracting squadron to the next level. To the members of the contracting squadron, you can be confident that you're getting the very best in a new commander. Major Bungai brings a track record of excellence and a clear passion for mission, people, and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, the proud professionals of the contracting squadron are dedicated, mission-focused, have a strong, effective, and resilient team. Major Bungai, I expect you will uphold the high standards of this wing, and you have my full confidence and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Roth. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. This is to certify that the Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Major William F. Barrett for meritorious service 31 May 2018 to 8 July 2020. Major William F. Barrett distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as a commander, 52nd Contracting Squadron, 52nd Mission Support Group, 52nd Fighter Wing, Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany, from 31 May 2018 to 8 July 2020. During this period, Major Barrett's outstanding leadership ensured the success of a diverse squadron of 49 military and civilian personnel. His staff successfully provided $128 million in agile and innovative operational support for 22 squadrons and 8 geographically separated units. Furthermore, he was the chief of contracting for 16 European Command Theater security packages and North Atlantic Treaty Organization exercises. He led 22 contingency contracting officers that enabled air superiority with 8,600 sorties for 28 North Atlantic Treaty Organization allies, culminating in the largest exercise since the Cold War and the Air Force's first F-35 agile basing exercise in Europe. Finally, Major Barrett's leadership shaped the Department of Defense and Air Force strategies and advanced theater readiness by establishing a new remote piloted aircraft airfield in Poland. These 3 acquisition innovations have been implemented Air Force-wide and were essential to the 52nd Fighter Wing earning the 2020 Air Force Spark Tank Award. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Barrett reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Major Barrett will now address the 52nd Contracting Squadron for the last time as commander.
I don't want to mess up your pages. So first up, thank you, Master Sergeant Ferris. I know when you first signed up for this, it was going to be 10 of us. So this turned into a little bit more daunting, maybe like 48 hours ago. So, yeah. But I feel like that if we would have given you that much warning, you might have found a way to get out of it. So no, but in all seriousness, thank you for doing that for us. And thank you for everyone that actually played a role in planning this, from Sergeant Silvers to the protocol team, to the PA team. Planning a change of command and planning ceremonies isn't easy, especially during a pandemic and when we have so many different changes happening. So 2 years ago, I made a promise to you that at the previous change of command that I was going to help you build upon what you've done to maintain your legacy. We were going to innovate. We were going to take care of the mission. We're going to take care of each other, and we're going to have fun doing it. I know we accomplished all that, but I think what I should have added to that promise was that I'm going to grow as a person because of you. And that's the theme I want to touch on today before we leave. So we heard about the legacy, innovation, and the mission during the award citation. I mean, which those are your accolades of all your hard work. I'm amazed but not surprised every time I hear what 52 Cons accomplishes. From the Air Force level and individual and squadron awards, from the 13 of 13 military promotions during my time here, which is unheard of, to the OTS selections, to the countless of innovations being implemented Air Force-wide, to the 30 and 40 years of civil dedicated service to this base and community. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be a part of 52 Cons, and you should too. I'm proud of what you accomplished, but I'm also proud about what you taught me, and I want to expand on how I grew because of my time with you. So Kaylee, thank you for being the reason why I am who I am, and thank you for making me want to be a better father and husband because that's who you deserve to be with. Thank you for being my best friend and the best mother Sydney could ask for. I love you so much, and I love every day that we grow old together. Sydney, thank you for making me and your mom so happy, and every day you remind us how lucky you are, and I love you so much. Zandra and Reiner, thank you for inviting us into your homes and sharing your families with us. It's been wonderful getting to know you, and I hope we can repay the hospitality in the U.S. We'd love it if you'd come and visit us, and we will miss you. Jürgen, thank you for coming out. It's been amazing getting to know you the last 2 years, and I've enjoyed our friendship and every time that we've had the chance to share a Bitburger. Colonel Epperson, Colonel Hokai, and Chief Cates, thank you for the trust and guidance to lead with you. The decision space you gave the squadrons allowed us to take risks and the ability to learn from challenging the status quo. It has been an absolute pleasure serving with you, sir, and I look forward to keeping in touch. To all the group commanders that aren't here, thank you for teaching me how to be a better leader through your example. I've cherished our interactions, and I'm grateful for the insight that you've shared with me. Colonel Roth, ma'am, thank you for your leadership, mentorship, and guidance. The MSG prides itself on leading the pack, and you're the reason why we do. Your strategic thinking, ability to navigate challenges, and never giving up when things get tough is what drives the MSG. I've always have appreciated the trust you give me and the other squadron commanders, and this has allowed us to be more comfortable with change and rise to all the challenges that have happened over the last couple of years. Cons feels empowered to take control of the mission, and that's because of you. Thank you. Fellow squadron commanders, thank you for the friendship, guidance, and allowing me to lean on you and learn from you. My first command wasn't as daunting because of my ability to lean on all of you. I appreciate everything you've taught me, the things that we accomplished as a team, the laughs along the way, and I'm humbled and honored to be considered peers with y'all, and I hope that we continue to talk. Russell, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, man. Thank you for being a friend so quickly, and I look forward to hearing about all the successes that you and the squadron are going to have during your tenure. I know we will continue to be in touch, and I will chat with you regularly. I'm looking forward to meeting your wife in June, June in Alabama, as we'll be in the same class together. But I do have two pieces of advice for you while you're here. One, take care of this team. They're special and they deserve it. You will soon realize how lucky you are you get to be here with them and how amazing it is here with them. Second, don't blink. Your time is going to go by way too quickly. I'd also be remiss to not share my love for the German culture that we've had to experience all during our time here. And I think a story speaks to it. So I was in a bar with some random guy named Sasha, and we were chatting it up, and he saw that my cup was empty and stole my glass, took his glass. Obviously, this wouldn't be appropriate right now during COVID. Poured his beer into my beer, made sure that they were level, and then handed it back to me, and he said, in Germany, nobody's cup is ever empty. But that's the culture that I'm going to miss. That's the culture of community with people looking out for each other and making sure you have what you need and making sure you feel the sense of belonging at home. It was a small gesture of 0.2 liters of beers, but it spoke volumes to who they are as people. So please soak that in. So last week, Sergeant Ferris made a joke about me needing a box of tissues, which I don't know how you knew how spot on you are with that. I'm a little bit emotional. I think I first figured it out when I watched the movie Atonement, something about a tragic love story really got to me, and I lost it at the end of it. And then fast forward 10 years later, during Kaylee and I's wedding vows, it took me 2 words to start bawling and swear in front of all of our families. And then a couple years later, after Sydney was born, it took me 3 weeks to even mention her name without crying. And then lastly, in December, when I got the email with the assignment notification, I teared up in my office by myself. So there seems to be a common theme that I've discovered that what makes me cry, and it's love. I love the people in the squadron here. I was lucky enough to join them, and it was the reason why I cried when I realized I had to leave. Kaylee and Sydney and I have had some of the best years of our lives, and we owe it all to you. The community we called home, the people we hung out with, talked with, and got to know, the people that were there for us, and us for them, the people we talked about to our families, and the people I know that we will keep in touch with the rest of our lives. The love we felt when we first moved here from the entire office, how they opened their arms and their hearts to us will never be forgotten. We always have felt like family, and the love we still feel today as we grew closer over the years. That love has been my motivation to grow while I've been here. I wanted to make sure that I was the best version of me to serve you. Well, I found new levels of myself that I didn't know possible. I work harder, study more, read more, and reflect more over all my decisions than I ever have before in my life. And the wonderful thing is it's my routine now. But you haven't allowed me to get complacent with that, and I thank you. And with every new discovery that you helped me find, I also found that you were all one step ahead of me. And from being amazed at the technical knowledge and the deep contracting discussions we got into, so I studied every night before our weekly warrant boards, and then every time I got asked for advice, even though we gave you guidance, I walked home with homework and made sure that was the best answer I could give you. Even though we moved on, I didn't want to make sure that I wasn't doing my best for you. And during our Breck clubs, you continually challenged me in my perspective on life and leadership and forced me to be more vulnerable. I've never been a part of such real discussions at the office and making decisions differently because of it now. The success I had as your commander is from your geniuses and not mine, and I needed to make sure I was deserving of it. I know I leave here a better version of myself because of you, and the feeling of gratitude is overwhelming. Lastly, thank you for the joy and the memories of the last 2 years. Thank you for making this goodbye so hard. I know Kaylee and I have been pushing off our final goodbyes, but we'll make sure we'll see you again before we leave. I think we might be cornered with this one, but I don't think it would be fair to Sydney for us to talk so fondly of a place and that she got to experience and not really remember. So with this change of command, I have a different promise. My promise is to you that we will be back with Sydney when she's old enough to remember, and maybe old enough for a Bitburger or Moslin and Riesling Trocken, as she so lovingly calls them, Dada's and Mama's drink. But she needs to relive these memories, and she needs to re-meet these people that makes this place so special. So until then, please stay in touch and be small.
Thank you, Major Barrett. As we conduct the official change of command, we note the significance of the passing of the guidon. The passing of the guidon symbolizes the transfer of command, responsibility, and authority. Since the 17th century, the unit colors and subordinate guidons have served an important function for the men and women they represent. Historically, the unit colors served as the rallying point for troops of the unit as they move forward into battle. Traditionally, the guidon stays at the side of the commander but will move forward even if the commander falls in battle. All others may perish, but the colors live on. The unit guidon no longer serves as a rallying point in war, however, it still serves as an equally important role as a symbol of permanence, which bears the history of the unit. Although the equipment, personnel, and mission may change, the guidon remains the symbol of the past and the promise of the future. The ceremonial passing of the guidon is the single event which most embodies the institution and responsibility of the position of command. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Major Barrett will relinquish command and Major Bungai will assume command of the 52nd Contracting Squadron.
Policy order.
Attention to orders. The Department of the Air Force has announced that effective 8 July 2020, by order of the 52nd Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Marlise Roth, Major Brussel Bungai is assigned as Commander, 52nd Contracting Squadron, Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany.
Name I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the 52nd Contracting Squadron Commander, Major Brussel Bungai.
Again, good afternoon and welcome, Colonel Epperson, Colonel Hokai, Command Chief Cates, Group Commanders, Honorary Commander Reiner and Zandra, fellow squadron commanders, Chief Matthews, friends, family, and members of the 52nd Contracting Squadron and Sabre Nation, thank you all for attending today. I'd like to thank Colonel Roth for officiating today's ceremony, along with Master Sergeant Ferris, Master Sergeant Silvers, and many others whose tremendous efforts have made today's event possible. Today, I stand before you humbled, yet honored by this opportunity to serve as commander. Colonel Epperson, Colonel Roth, I truly appreciate the confidence you have placed in me by providing this opportunity and entrusting me with the care of the 52nd Contracting Squadron and its personnel. Bill, I'm grateful for the leadership you have provided, which created a professional and dedicated squadron, and I'm indebted to you for leaving me with a great organization. Your legacy here will challenge me to continue providing outstanding support to the 52nd Fighter Wing. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to you and Kaylee for all of your assistance in my transition here, and wish the both of you and your daughter Sydney all the best and continued success in your next assignment. My fellow squadron commanders, I look forward to meeting each of you and supporting you with sound business leadership and premier contracting support to ensure mission success for your respective organizations. To the men and women of the 52nd Contracting Squadron, again, I am humbled to be the newest member of your team. I look forward to joining you and continuing to fulfill our vital mission and demonstrating our commitment to excellence. In the coming days, we'll get to know each other and work together toward the continued success of the squadron. To my parents and brothers who unfortunately could not be here today, but are joining us via the live stream, I want you to know that I'm forever grateful for my upbringing. The truest sense of family was always present in the Bungai household, which helped lay the foundation for the man I am today. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank my beautiful bride, June, and our boys, Benjamin, Jordan, Roman, and Mason, for their constant love, devotion, and support. I know that you endure the sacrifices as much, if not more, and I can't thank you enough for all that you have done. As soon as you get here, I truly look forward to sharing this wonderful opportunity with each of you and creating many lasting memories. Once again, I thank everyone for attending today, and I look forward to ensuring the 52nd Contracting Squadron delivers premier warfighting capabilities to the 52nd Fighter Wing.
Thank you, Major Bungai. Traditionally, there's a reception immediately following a change of command, allowing the Sabre Nation to meet the new commander and their family. Since this isn't possible today, photos of Major Bungai and his family will be displayed after the live broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Colonel Roth, thank you for attending physically and virtually. This concludes today's ceremony. We wish you a pleasant day.